or just be yourself. If people don't like it, if you're being yourself, fuck them.
It's Big Los.
Hollywood Kev.
And welcome to another episode of The Noize. If you haven't yet, go ahead and follow us on the big three, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at The Noize Podcast. And of course, follow everything Beat Network at beatnetworkonline.com. Another Monday.
Yeah.
Back on the days that we sit so well. Eventually it'll be videos, but 2021 has been an adjustment process. Kev, my friend.
Yeah, for sure.
How are you, sir?
I'm good, man. I'm good. How are you?
I am tired, but it is my Friday from the brick and mortar. I have never been more excited to sleep in my life.
Yeah.
Like everything
I don't know
about.
why kids don't like naps. They're like the best thing in the world.
Well, you can't play Roblox in a nap. Only thing you do is come up with ideas.
You can dream about Roblox. So.
Right, but that's gonna help you. Then you're gonna wake up and actually do the shit.
I guess so.
It's kind of like when you look at the Craig's motherfuckers when they actually go on murderous rampage. You know how long they dreamed about killing some shit?
Jesus Christ.
Then they finally did it.
What if like you want to be a mass murderer or you want to be a serial killer, but you're an insomniac? So you're not dreaming about it per se.
So then you just out there getting with the shits?
Yeah, you just doing it.
I feel like that's all of them. Gotta ask y'all because we're still doing quarantine podcasting. Can y'all hear my neighbors? Because it seems like since we started, they done cranked up. Like, nah, man, we got Eduardo, we got Hector, we got all the homies here by now.
You know it's a case of coronas.
It has to be.
Yeah,
has to be. Definitely got some Sylvesters on deck.
Yeah.
But anyway, glad we actually took that little B-side. TheNoizeMerch.threadless.com. Go ahead and get you some official Noize merch. Help line our pockets up a little bit. And as I said in the beginning of the show, make sure y'all lock in with beatnetworkonline.com very, very soon.
Yeah.
We will be announcing a new /return of a show pretty soon. And it's going to be something you're very familiar with, but it's also going to be something very different almost in a sense.
And it's dope. It's going to be really, really dope.
It's going to be dope. We need, I think, one more episode. So this one to lock in everything else we're going to do, and then we can make the announcement next episode. Y'all definitely going to look forward to it, and it's going to be a Beat Network Online exclusive. So that way y'all can come to the website a little more, which means we can sell ads on the websites. Again, line our pockets. That's all we're trying to work on right now. But anyway, with that being said, I am tired. And since we've had the opportunity to talk about live shows, I got to address yesterday, FOH did not happen. Definitely apologize for that. Most of the contestants were ready to go. Just a lot of things that would have been done last minute that would have definitely taken away from the
integrity of the show.
Exactly. Integrity of the show, the enjoyment of the show even. Cause it would have felt rushed, and, we already do a lot, and sometimes shit come across rushed. Sometimes shit come across even like, backburnered in a sense. But, we trying to make sure we still give y'all quality stuff, at the position that we are. So I'd much rather postpone something than do something half-assed.
Right, yeah.
One thing I am noticing, peeling behind the curtain, me and Kev just had this conversation. One thing I am noticing in this season 2 of FOH, it is much harder to get contestants.
Yeah, Cats is a little soft.
And that's one thing I kind of been running into. Just hearing people say, "Oh no, I just I like being in the comments. I like talking my shit." Like,
just scared.
Cool. So you don't want to hop on? you don't want to get in there? Now, this is not a knock to the ear hustlers who have been, rocking along, because a lot of y'all I have not asked, not because I think y'all will punk out or anything like that. I just haven't asked because sometimes you just want people who are just on that side.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You want the numbers. You want the people that are just that are going to be doing things out of just pure, entertainment. Once you start seeing that transition from, supporters and fans and spectators into participants, and, you start to blur the line, and I was like, okay, so
about to say that,
are they a part of this, or,
the
what I mean?
Lines get blurred, and not only like people on the outside looking in, like, hey, are they a part of this? The participants start thinking, so am I a part of this?
So am I down with this? Am I a part of the team? You know what I'm saying? Like, you definitely want to make sure you keep the separation, because we definitely appreciate you guys, and y'all help us grow with how supportive that you've been. So we definitely want to keep it that way.
Yeah.
So no, this doesn't go to everybody. However, I'm starting to notice that, we talk to these cats who, talk a big game, and some of them even have shows, and they're very opinionated on their shows. It's a different situation. It's a different setup when you're actually put in the position to present those ideals where you'll get feedback in real time.
Mm-hmm. What my man Jay say, you talk, I'll talk back. They scared of the talk back.
Exactly. The talk back is starting to get niggas.
Yeah.
This has nothing to do with the competitors for this episode. We actually had some actual emergencies dealing with some of the cats that were playing. So, they were ready. It was definitely some good ones that was set up there. But it's just very interesting this season. I don't know if it's because we're back outside. Mm-hmm. I don't know if, we've filtered through. You know what I'm saying? The ones that had a problem going over there and getting the talk back. Because we done had Brian Head on like 3 episodes of FOH. Right. He has no problem coming in with some wild ass fucking opinions.
Shout out to him and his wild opinions.
Definitely. And he has no problem dealing with the get back. But it's just almost like, other people have a problem dealing with the get back.
Yeah.
So it's almost like FOH was a social experiment, because that speaks to everything that we've been talking about when it comes down to social media in general. That keyboard. The keyboard, brother. See, I'm channeling my RZA Islam. I'm channeling what's my dude's name? The most popular one of all of them.
Dr. Umar.
There we go. I'm channeling my Umar Johnson. You know what I'm saying?
Is he really a doctor?
Probably not. Is he building a school?
He just like old boy, the one cheating fella, always doing shit in his car.
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't know, because the only thing, he ain't building walls, he's beating them down. Big difference. With the oop, my guy, with the assist. But yeah, because you always hear about Umar Johnson collecting money. We're going to build the school. I was like, I watched that episode of.
Where is the school supposed to be?
Africa. I don't know, actually. I just remember I watched an episode of Breakfast Club years ago.
Yeah, I don't like him, so.
He says very little things that I'm like, But then even with those little things, he'll then say something afterwards like, fuck, man.
Yeah. And that's probably why I don't fuck with him. That exact reason. I can't do it.
Like the dismount is A1, and then the landing, it just doesn't.
Yeah.
It doesn't stick.
He dismounts and then falls.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like you got a cat, you know what I'm saying, solid DJ. And then I know where you play something to his heart. Mm-hmm. And you try to find out, like, who is this? Like, oh, this is my cousin. I told him.
He playing all hip hop, then he throwing some Britney Spears Toxic.
Exactly.
Even though it's a banger.
No. But here's the thing. He's still a DJ, so you got to make sure it mixes. So he's going to put on, what's the record she did with Pharrell?
I don't remember.
Oh, what the hell?
But I don't remember the record, but I know what you're talking about.
Boys, that's what the fuck it's called.
There we
go. So boom, he got like a whole little solid shit going on.
Why do you know that?
Because I really was trying to remember what the fuck the name of this record was for the life of me. I know all these random ass records except for new niggas.
Yeah, that definitely was random.
I'm pretty trash when it comes down to new people.
Yeah.
Hey man, look, there's a lot of music that I was playing.
I guess so.
But anyway, she took away from the whole fucking joke. But yeah, where were we even going with that?
It was the DJ was trying. Dr. Umar.
Oh yeah, boom, Dr. Umar Johnson. Boy, we took a left and kept going. But anyway, I don't know, bruh. Like he'll get started really good and then kind of go to a different place. And shout out to everybody that follows him to a T. Mm-hmm. But it seems like he's now more popular for his memes.
Yes, absolutely. And yeah, you got some cool, funny memes out there, though. I'll give him that.
I saw this one where it was a white chick about to do the busted challenge. Mm-hmm. It was a thick white chick at that. And she was kind of cute. And she was about to start the busted challenge. And as soon as she was about to drop down, it turns into Umar Johnson looking at you with shame. And here's the crazier part. He posts the memes about himself.
That's funny. But I noticed even with some other comedians, they'll do shit like that to kind of bring attention to them. And then, like, they'll post some shit and be like, who posted this? Or who did this? Nigga, you! That's, yeah.
You know who did it. You the one. You started the rumor about yourself.
Yeah.
Random ass question, but I want to know. You walking down the street, and John Bones Jones is coming out of Mario's West Side Market. I got to set the tone. You got to make sure it's somewhere cops are not going to be as involved because all they see is black people. So John Bones Jones come out of Mario's West Side Market and like shoulder checks you, and you're like, I don't know if he meant to do that. You don't even know who the fuck that is. You're like, I don't know if he meant to do that, but whatever. And then he goes, "Oh, you a bitch like that?" And then it registers in your head
that he was speaking.
You did that shit on purpose. But then you turn around and realize John Bones Jones. What's your next move?
Well, it'll be two things. First thing is, I would make sure he wouldn't shoulder check me because I'm going to take a detour, like I'm around him, you know what I mean? that part isn't going to happen.
He said, I came in through the exit.
Right. But for the sake of the joke, if he was to do that, now me, like if he was just shoulder checking me or something like that, I'd probably brush it off, but it's just that the afterwards I'll show you a bitch like that. No, I wouldn't fight him. I shoot the shit out of him. Though.
But what if this is a day you just...
I brandish some shit though, like, hey, my nigga, like, hey.
So you go look at him, realize it's him, and immediately go from looking at him to checking your surroundings. All right, what's blunt around here? What's what's got some good grip on it?
I call the police.
Nope.
He got a coke problem. I'm calling police. Damn that.
We're in front of Mario's West Side Market, so I'm sure
they ain't coming.
I'm sure there's somebody there,
right,
with a cool little ball on him. I'm gonna go ahead and just cash him out, and then I'm just gonna LeBron coke into his face and just watch him and just get giddy.
Nah. I wouldn't fight him sober. I'm definitely not fighting him coked up.
Oh no, the coke is a distraction for me to leave,
for you to get away.
Yeah,
take that and just run.
Exactly, and that's why you got LeBron it so he can like. You remember when Redman was trying to catch his weed and how high? That's how he gonna be doing with the coke. Just
try to catch
LeBron,
the coke?
And he's gonna try to just catch each and every one while I slip away. By that at that point, not only is he wired up, he's also burnt out. So he's like coasting, and he's like, "Damn, what was even going on?" You know what I'm saying? Mind tricks. No one ever cares. They just really impressed by how he was able to retain so much air coke.
Yeah, I'm moving out the way. I'm letting him be. That day, I just might be a bitch. I just might be a bitch that day. And
yo, what if somebody actually tries to call someone a bitch for not fighting, for just being a regular nigga and not fighting John Bones Jones?
If you on that keyboard talking shit, fine.
Let's be like, you fight him. Shit. You go fight him.
You go fight him. How about I set it up right now?
Speaking of, did you see the video of Boosie?
No, what happened?
So apparently, this is half social media gossip. Other half, I watched the fucking video. And then thirdly, so I guess the third half, nope, wouldn't be a half. Third, boom. I saw this reported somewhere as well. So apparently Boosie lost his Instagram because he posted a video of himself smacking some drunk dude. So I think we haven't done this in a while. We're going to do a live Kev reacts.
But why would he get...
Because he posted to his Instagram, but I'm assuming...
Why would they kick him off of that? I mean, I
have no clue.
We got Karens doing crazy shit all the time, and... those pages that post that don't get taken down or deleted.
Like, see, look, I even typed in here Boosie and the predictive text said slaps man.
Really?
Let me see. And
he said dude was drunk.
He definitely seemed like it. Oh.
Oh yeah, he definitely looks like he had.
He kind of like Mr. Miyagi a little bit. Yeah. Well, not Mr. Miyagi. What was my nigga from Three Ninjas?
I know what you're talking about. I love that movie.
Older grandpa?
Yeah. His name was Grandpa, I think.
Had he already slapped him? Oh, there we go. Here we go.
Who you talking to, bro?
He's talking to Boosie.
I know. I'm saying that's what I was saying to him. Who are you talking to?
Smacked him.
And he smacked the shit out of him.
Bruh, the way that as hard as he smacked this nigga.
Jesus Christ. First of all, I knew Boosie was about it, but I didn't think he was like really, really about it. He smacked the dog shit out of him.
I mean, he probably knew he was going to get that W.
Yo.
Because, I mean, the nigga was
smacked
drunk.
him so hard, the dude that got smacked should have sobered up instantly.
Nah, he kind of went into that drunk freeze.
Exactly. You know, he should have been like, oh, what the fuck? Are y'all jumping me? Like, he should have seen something.
Are they jump? Is Boosie and the baby jumping me?
Yeah.
But now, as you see when you look for Boosie shit, gone.
Yeah, that's fucked up. Did they? Well, did they say that's the reason why he got his page suspended?
That's what conversation is saying. But this is also Boosie. Put your pussy lips on live, and I give you $1,000. So that could have probably happened as well. We don't know.
I don't agree with it. Like that, nah.
Oh no, it's mad selective. It's definitely selective.
Yeah, that's, and they might be targeting him in a sense because it's that shouldn't happen. Hell nah.
But if you're going to get kicked off, why not get kicked off after slapping a motherfucker trying to call you a bitch ass?
That's true. That's true. I would have been like, dude, who are you? First of all, dude deserved to get smacked because I would have been like, who the fuck are you talking to? Like, nigga, do I know you? Have we had any type of prior conversation? What is this?
And as you said, the accuracy and the talent of Boosie's smacking abilities. That ain't the first time he smacked a nigga.
Yeah, he had. You know how like when bowlers when they bowl, they got the poles and everything.
They got the twist and shit.
Yeah, that's how that smack was. He had the forms and everything.
Boosie's smack was making the ball spin when he called that.
That's exactly what he did. Like he smacked dude so hard.
Oh, you do this, huh?
Yeah, like he how LeBron got the Charles talk. Like down to a T, he got that smack down to a T.
So let me ask you, after watching that, would you fight Boosie?
Yeah, I would.
You get okay, Boosie, celebrity boxing match. Let us know. Cut the check, and also can you pay for it because we won't have the money until you cut the check for this to actually happen. So meet us in the middle. Meet us in the middle. We start a promo.
Don't get me wrong. I'm not one to turn down a fade, but I'm not stupid either.
Right? No, of course.
You know what I mean? Like if it was a regular nigga did exactly the same thing. John Jones did. No, we got a problem. But I'm not fighting John Jones
at all. And at no form of his life. Like I'm not gonna catch him when he's like 43.
Yeah, I'm not gonna.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not doing that shit. I'm not fighting Anderson Silva today. Yeah.
Speaking of fighting, I seen Holyfield.
His training?
No, I didn't see his training. It was like a picture of him looking fit, and just off that, I'm like, man, Tyson might not want that. Again, I don't know. I didn't look at the training. I don't know. Just off the picture alone, I'm like, Tyson might not want that, man.
I don't know. I may have to go look that up because, like I said, watching Tyson and Roy Jones, I'm like, that nigga, he's a different cat.
No, absolutely.
Sane Tyson?
I agree with you.
Sane Tyson could be more dangerous than crazy Tyson.
Maybe.
Because how are you aware of the shit you gonna do to somebody?
Yeah. Maybe, absolutely. Again, I didn't see a training video. It was just him looking fit. And I'm like, for his age to be that size, I'm like, that's some shit you've been training. So I don't know. Tyson might not want it. Tyson might not want it.
I'd be curious to see.
So,
I still wouldn't fight Anderson Silva today. Like I said, even though he's getting washed in the octagon.
I wouldn't fight him.
Nah, I don't. I personally don't need those problems because you're gonna catch me on live and I get kicked and you just watch my temple actually fall off my shit.
Yeah, I don't want them problems.
I'm cool. I'm okay with that. Question. And I've been thinking about this since all the drama with Saweetie and Quavo, knowing damn well I will never talk about Saweetie and Quavo on the Noize. Of course, it got talked about on the beat because that's what you guys love. But in dealings with the Migos in general, one thing I started to notice, I realized that was the last time Migos made any real like conversation, made any kind of noise.
What was the last time like this particular?
With Saweetie and Quavo. Then I was like, okay, so when's the last time we actually were talking about the Migos? And it was like when Offset cheated. And just recently Takeoff was like, he's
Takeoff. I haven't seen like this man at all.
Right, he stay in the house and smoke. He better get him a high profile relationship, something. Right. But Takeoff was saying that I guess he tried to sneak into an interview saying that not actually sneak in, but the words he snuck in. How Migos definitely deserve their flowers as like top 5 groups of all time. And it kind of hit me like
they're not even top 10, but carry on.
I'd agree. Can I name the 10 right now? Nah, but I definitely agree they wouldn't be top 10. But I recognize real recognize real, and Migos own the airwaves when they drop something. So the fact that the only conversations we've had about Migos have been just about relationship woes and, where's Takeoff on some Where's Waldo type shit. Are they done? Like, if we get a Migos single, does it float like that, or have they been quiet for too long?
I don't know if the single would float like that for a couple of reasons. Number one, I don't listen to them, so I don't know.
I mean, but it's still enough to recognize they're the Migos. You know what I'm saying?
Then it might float because for that exact reason they haven't had any type of music for so long. I'm pretty sure that they got fans that really fuck with them. I'm pretty sure they got like a core fan base. So their single might really float. I don't think they're done per se. Right now it's looking a little sketchy, and I will say when they do drop whatever it is that they're gonna drop, if it doesn't go, and again, go to you guys, not necessarily me because it's not, but to everybody else, if it doesn't go, then yeah, I would say they're done.
So really, we just gotta wait for the next singles, like, because I think about actually, let's do some live Googling. Let's see when their last major single was, because one thing that also made me think about it
on that Culture, right? Their last album, right?
Was it the last time we heard anything from Migos?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Fuck me. Or was it Mike? Or was it not Mike? What made it? Was it Mustard?
Might have been. I don't know.
At least he has the wrong person.
unless it was like somebody else shit. But far as their shit, the thing Culture was the last one.
So Culture 3 is supposed to come out this year. It's supposed to come out last year, but apparently it didn't drop. So the last singles that we got from Culture 3 was Give No Fucks.
From Culture 2?
No, this is Culture 3. That was supposed to come last year, but now it's coming this year. Now
they did drop some music from it though?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They dropped a single in 2020. The Give No Fuck record, which I don't think floated like that.
No, because I don't even know. I never heard it. I don't know.
I don't even know which one is needed. Somebody's going to be out there. You don't know Needed.
Bam. I got it. The latest that I've heard them, I don't know if it was a group or one of them, I think it was a Target commercial.
Yeah, I've heard them on Target commercial for sure.
Was it Target commercial? That Bag Alert?
Yeah, I think
that was
so.
the last thing I heard from them.
So it's like, yeah, they're definitely getting the bag for sure.
Right.
But just as far as from a hip hop standpoint, like they weren't at the place that they could take the amount of time out of the limelight.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I agree with you.
Like, cause you got Jay-Z who could take that big chunk of time.
Right.
And then when a new album drop, everybody's excited for it. Migos weren't anywhere near that.
They weren't. They to me, they haven't hit that mark yet.
I think they got too comfortable in that, I guess, major conversation.
Yeah. I would agree with that. Do they have any artists themselves or?
They might. I don't know.
I'm trying to think if was it something else that may be distracting them because I don't see why they wouldn't put music out, especially with them saying how important how much music was to them when they first came out.
Now I got to see how Offset's album did because to answer your question when it comes down to what could be distracting them, like I said, it could very much so be that everybody's trying to recreate Jay-Z and Beyonce. And not, really put that much time into what they're supposed to be doing, which is why as you mentioned, we don't hear from Takeoff. Right. We don't know what the fuck is going on with Takeoff. See, Takeoff did, but even with Takeoff was available, and he still didn't do his project with Yachty. It ain't like Yachty ain't did nothing.
Yeah, I don't know. Like you said, it's Where's Waldo. But even with, to your point, even with them trying to chase the Beyonce and Jay-Z thing, one thing about them is, music they didn't lose track of the music,
right?
You know what I mean? Beyonce still had crazy records that came out through this whole thing.
Okay, so respect. Offset's album went gold, so I did not know that.
Me either.
So that's interesting. So Offset was able to go gold, and then he just continued to coast on the I'm Cardi B's husband thing,
basically.
But now that conversation over, now that Cardi B done broke records and shit like that. That's no longer conversation. So how long can you coast on I'm Cardi B's husband? And you dropped 2 singles from Culture 3, which people were looking forward to at one point. But you dropped 2 singles from Culture 3. One of them isn't even necessarily memorable. And the other one didn't get spins like that. Maybe like I don't even remember hearing it in trailers, video games, nothing.
Nah, I don't. Again, the last thing I heard was that I think it's a Target commercial. I don't know, but that was the last thing I heard from them. But to answer your question, I would say that is odd. That is odd to put something. Did he put it out last year, you said?
Offset, his was 2019. So
okay.
Actually 2019 in February, so 2 years ago.
Okay, so 2 years ago, and to be coasting for this long being I don't want to say a newer act, but a not legacy act to be coasting this long is kind of kind of heard of.
And the crazy shit is, I think it said that we were supposed to be that we're supposed to get. Let me pull it back up because I didn't expect to go this in depth to it, but I feel like we're peeling back layers as two niggas that don't listen to the Migos. But
somebody probably like, y'all don't even listen to them niggas.
Y'all niggas ain't even following. Y'all ain't Migots or whatever.
They call Migos?
I don't know. I'm about to say whatever they following could be. So Culture 3 is set up for spring 2021. We're now in, yeah, you're right. Huh, that's the gotcha. So we should be getting it at any moment if that's the case. However, with this shit going on with Quavo, are they going to push it back again? Because right now it's a lot of negative conversation surrounding the Migos. Granted, they definitely make songs for niggas, but it's they records they got the females twerking is what really float.
Right. I don't think they pushed it back again. I think a lot of people that had albums come out that were scheduled to come out last year, they probably pushed them back because of the pandemic. They couldn't tour. Like if Culture 3 dropped, they couldn't tour it.
And it's not supposed to be called Culture 3. It just says Migos announced that they would check this is back in May of last year, so we're late. But it says that they was going to change the album from Culture 3 to another title.
Okay, well, regardless.
So they don't even feel like this is worth having the Culture title too. Bro, we're not going to get a project from these niggas.
You don't think so? Well, I was going to say regardless, I think people couldn't tour their records, so if they didn't drop last year, that's probably why they dropping this year, because I think maybe the end of summer, shit should really be opening up. So maybe that's why I don't think that they're going to, like, I don't think there'll be a break because of whatever happened with Quavo. I don't think there'll be a break. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I don't know. Either way, I'm not looking forward to this shit.
I don't think it'll be a break, but like I said, I think they would wait until the negative press calmed down because Offset did that. We didn't get Offset's album until after the walkout on stage and beg for his wife back. We didn't get his project until after that, so the conversation died down until they were able to see Offset and Cardi back together. No, I low key, since Jay-Z and Beyonce, being in a relationship is pretty much just as important as your rap career at this point.
I guess so. I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong at all. I don't know, man. I'm just all about the music. Whether the relationship is going good or fell apart, I just feel like if you're an artist in that capacity, get into the booth and do whatever you need to do because not doing it's not getting you nowhere.
I would say from a mainstream standpoint, because obviously for motherfuckers that listen to music for the music and are just about the music, we can give two fucks.
Right.
But it seems so entwined with one another.
It does.
Like think about when Wiz Khalifa and Amber Rose were dating.
Right, that was the thing.
Majority of their conversation was, what made them stars. You know what I'm saying? Whatever movie Wiz Khalifa was doing, he smoked this much weed. The conversation wasn't really on his music. Some Wiz Khalifa releases, not album wise, but like singles and Lucy's, kind of went under the radar during their time together. And then went even more under the radar. Like that whole, do you listen to Wiz?
Oh, I listen. It's here and there.
What was the record? Fuck. It was a solid record. I can't remember the name of it, but it came out not too long after the breakup. But
is it just him or is it featured?
It's just Wiz.
Okay.
But if it did get radio spins, it either came right after them talking about the breakup and what's going to happen with the kid, or it was just more conversation about the breakup itself. That's how much people are so involved in motherfuckers' lives now.
You're right about that.
Again, this is from a mainstream standpoint. You gotta be like a genuine lover of music and artistry, lyrics, the whole nine, to continue to follow these certain things just as a regular fan. But that's where your aux core come into play. Because if you're going to depend on radio at this point, you're not going to get that shit. Majority of the conversation is going to be what kind of relationship are they in? And given what we do, especially with this podcast and then what I do with the beat, it's almost, I don't want to say we have to know, but it's like we're going to always come across that when it comes down to looking for material to talk about.
Right.
So it's like you're kind of always involved. So seeing how all that went down with the Migos, I'm just starting to notice that it's starting to get really quiet for these niggas musically.
Yeah. You are right about that. I think if they are gonna push stuff back, whatever case, I think the only thing that can be done for them to start getting notoriety again musically is if Quavo put out a diss track or he diss make a not necessarily a diss track, but like a line or something like that. You know what I mean? Because they don't even have to be like crazy. It could be just slick talk. You know what I mean?
Because at one point they had the recipe.
Yeah.
At one point they really, really had the recipe. If it was a Migos record, that shit was about to float.
You're right.
It's almost like Ray Shrimmer. They used to be the exact same way until
you're right. Until all of a sudden they
Sway Lee decided to start, you know what I'm saying, being on this hook bag and catching all these other records with everybody. And then that distraction, that shiny red ball syndrome. So is it Sway Lee that I like about Ray Shrimmer, or do I like both these niggas?
You're right.
Because I don't miss Slim Jimmy.
You're right. You're right. You're right about that.
It immediately becomes a separation. So I think that's what it is. I think when you create that distraction, in this case, from the mainstream audience, that distraction is their tumultuous relationships. That was hard to say in one sweep. When you bring in, you know what I'm saying, the shit that's going on in their relationships, from the mainstream standpoint, we don't give a fuck about the music. What's going on in your world?
Right.
What's happening in your household?
So with their said relationship issues and us not knowing where the fuck Takeoff is, do you think they're trying to individually go solo?
The only person that would last would be Quavo, so I would hope not.
Would he be the only person that lasts? Because we just said the Offset fella, like, him and his relationship are still together. You know what I mean? So
I hate to say this, because like I said, to me, Offset raps the best out of all three of them. Mm-hmm. So I hate to say this. If Offset continues on, then it's a girls' tour. It's a girls' tour, not his tour. Because
it's Cardi tour featuring Offset.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Because Offset's album didn't get that much conversation until the Clout record dropped. Then when Clout came out, which featured Cardi, and saw them together as a happy couple in the video, floated. Like I said, it went gold. I guarantee you the only reason it went gold is because of Clout.
Interesting.
So it's like, if he does start to, actually, while we're sitting there saying, you know, is it a world tour or a girls tour? Look at Meek. Look at how fast Meek has fell out the limelight and fell out the conversation since him and Nicki broke up.
I don't think that was all him though, or that situation. I think a lot of that was him.
No, I also give it to him, but
him
that
doing a lot of stupid shit. Unfortunately, like social media. I don't think outside of that breakup, because I think right after that breakup, he had like a little window where he was still like, no, that's me. And then I think him doing dumb shit. Absolutely, it was a small window. But I think in addition to him not really putting out the same, I don't even want to say the same quality music, but musically people weren't checking for him, and then him doing unfavorable shit on social media, I think that helped a lot more than him not being with Nicki.
Yeah, no, I definitely do think it was a plethora of things for sure. But I almost feel like we can pinpoint the beginning of that, starting with the breakup with Nicki.
Probably so, yeah. That probably was like the beginning, yeah.
Because remember, niggas went hard on me. Like, nigga, how you lose Nicki?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, they went in on him. Bro, that's weird.
What's interesting about that is they went in on Meek for how you lose Nicki, but they shit on Nicki a lot too. Nicki's
situation is weird in general, because it's like you just got done saying, they went in on Meek hella, and when they went in on Nicki, but they didn't go on Nicki as much as they went in on Meek. Now it's like they're destroying Nicki, but if she drops something, does she still control the airwaves?
Oh no, she doesn't.
When she drops, you think that's raps for her too?
I think it's raps for her because she doesn't like, that's not her focus right now.
True. Yeah, definitely the family for sure.
I think that's why it's raps for her. Because I think if she was to, it can be a snippet. Let's say if she was to put out a snippet or something, her in the studio and she's gassing, they're going to be flocking to her again. Her core fans are going to be flocking to her again.
Let me ask you this, actually. Because now that we're on the conversation, now it's kind of like leaning elsewhere, and then we can go to something else. So Cardi is controlling the number one spot with that Up, whatever the record's called.
It's just Up.
It's just Up?
Yeah.
Is she kind of start, and no motherfuckers, how you gonna say it so early? Whatever, just listen. Is she starting to creep into that I control the airwaves space?
Yeah, because unfortunately in hip hop, there's only room. I don't want to say there's only room because there's room for all of them, but hip hop seems like it's only room for one female to really be dominant. And right now it's Cardi B. Who else that's a woman. I mean, don't get me wrong. We got a lot of these other female rappers or whatever the case is that are trying to come up. But who's a woman that you can say really controls the airways?
Meg.
More than Cardi?
Not more than Cardi.
That's what I mean. They only don't let it be once. Right now, it's Cardi's turn. Right. Eventually, probably very soon, it's going to be Meg's turn.
And that's what I was going to say. Like, I think this is the time where you're getting more female hip hop records, flooding the airwaves for sure. But as far as that control factor, as far as that who's going to be big, who's going to be Pac, who's going to be Kendrick, who's going to be Cole, all that shit, that would definitely be Cardi. But it's almost like Meg is. I feel like Meg is on the ass.
Yeah, Meg is creeping for sure.
Meg is for sure. On the ass.
If Cardi check her review, Meg is there.
And shit, well, no, I can't even use them as an example because he shot her. So of course Tory Lanez is going to fall off. However, had it not been the shooting, do you think that would have affected him in any way?
What affected him?
If it was just him and Meg just broke up.
No.
You don't think she's big enough?
A, I don't think she's big enough. B, say what you want. That man's last album was fucking banger.
I heard it was.
So I don't think she's big enough. I think if she was where Cardi is now and it was happening, oh, absolutely. But I just don't think she's big enough right now.
But that definitely helps speed it up with
absolutely
him shooting her for sure.
Absolutely.
But yeah, man. I don't know. Circling back, I think it's up for the Migos. And
it
again,
might be.
It's not like we haven't seen this happen to cats controlling shit and then just out of nowhere.
It might be. You're right. It might be. So. At one point, it was a long time ago, and it may not have been for very long. But at one point, Jaquan ran the radio.
Well,
yeah, where's he now?
With Jaquan though, you gave him his one single. But as far as somebody who had multiple shit that kind of figured out the cheat code, look at Nelly. Look at how bad we felt for Nelly when he did verses with Luda. Even the records that controlled the airwaves, we were like, boo.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like. So it happens, and I don't know. It's starting to feel like it's the Migos
everybody
turn.
runs their course, and I think everybody runs that course, and unless you're somebody like Jay-Z, maybe him, you're gonna have a spot where you're big, you on top, but you're gonna fall off too. And I don't want to say fall off. You're gonna not be as favorable.
No, of course, no.
To the fans,
absolutely. Then there are those few people who remain in the conversation as long as they do, like a Jay-Z. Mm-hmm. But it's also remembering that Jay-Z may also made a lot of boss moves outside of just music that kept his name favorable.
Exactly. I was just thinking that.
And especially, Jay-Z is almost like a caricature of Jay-Z. Because it's like, we know Jay-Z, the coke dealer, you know what I'm saying, the black boy, and on the corner with his hand in his pocket. We knew that nigga from Marcy.
Right.
And now we know the billionaire businessman who turned coke business into the you know what I'm saying, to regular ass business. And it's only this storybook almost.
If you could make a story like a big drug deal dope story where they're first selling dope, and then now when we watch them, they can have a good coke story, whatever the case is, and eventually you're like, okay, towards the end of this movie, they're gonna get shot or locked up. Jay-Z's the opposite.
Yeah, the exact opposite.
He's the happy ending sort of story. You know,
he's the one. He's the one that you see getting off the plane like Cabo or some shit.
Yeah,
absolutely. All white linen suit, private jet.
Right.
Nigga on flip flops.
Right. Got his toes out.
And the current locks. He would look just like that because he been gone that long. but you know, there are certain people who can kind of survive those kind of things because cheating on Beyonce should have been around the time of the kind of music he was making at the time. That should have been it for her.
And not only with the type of music he was making, but she was destroying shit.
She was killing shit.
Yeah.
She was the airwaves.
Yeah.
And around that time he cheated, what was that?
I think that's
a little bit after Kingdom Come, wasn't it? No, it was later than that.
It was way later than
that. That was Magna Carta.
Yeah. Because I think she dropped Lemonade beating covered it. Not to say covered that, but that was her speaking on it type of thing.
It was Magna Carta. And remember, Magna Carta got very mixed reviews.
Yeah. And I like Magna Carta.
I enjoyed Magna Carta.
I enjoyed that one.
I enjoyed Magna Carta, but Magna Carta was getting very mixed reviews. So you got that. You got the fact that Beyonce was pretty much Jesus.
Basically.
You know what I'm saying? And you got Jay-Z cheating on the hottest chick in the game.
Mm-hmm.
That should have been, with how these new rules are working and how it's taking down all these other cats, that should have been it for Hov.
Yeah, that should have been done.
But because we see Jay-Z and we see Sean Corey Carter. And I think that's what it is. People haven't established their brand, and you're actually spot on. Cardi really is in that spot because Cardi was quiet before she dropped the Up record. And now you got the Up record, then boom, I know where she goes diamond, and now she's making all these business moves. Now we're seeing Cardi as a full brand. Now that she's created herself as a brand, she's about to be unstoppable.
Yeah. She's trajectory for her is definitely up. So to speak.
And as long as she keeps a good pin around her, nigga, it's about to be a real problem.
Yeah. And I think that also makes it hard for Meg, I think.
Yeah.
Now, if it was the other way around, if it was Meg was on top, but Cardi was creeping, then maybe I wouldn't have thought. But being Cardi's like on top and she's solidified on top, all she got to do is maintain her momentum.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, yeah, it makes it hard for Meg.
Don't get me wrong. You know what I'm saying? Keep getting your spins, keep getting your money. We say it all the time. We don't hate on nobody hustle. The unfortunate spot that Meg Thee Stallion is in, even though I want to see her win, I want to see her eat, is she's doing what everyone else is doing.
Exactly.
What if Saweetie drops, just especially coming off the shit with Quavo, what if she drops a record that really speaks into, you know what I'm saying, building women up, you know, doing what Meg is doing now, then Saweetie takes that spot. Then what happens with Meg? Yeah. And it's not like we haven't seen it before because we literally watched it happen from the City Girls passing the baton to Meg. Mm-hmm. We watched it happen. Yeah. So it's not impossible because City Girls supposed to be next up, but then JT went to jail.
I think Saweetie is one relationship away from really.
You don't think this was it?
No, because Quavo isn't big enough.
He's not, but they were conversation.
They were conversation,
and they were photogenic.
They were, and that kept him. But he's not big enough musically to get there. Like, nah.
Okay, I can see that.
Nah, even though they probably wouldn't. If Drake and Sweetie was pictured around, she would skyrocket.
Yeah.
I just don't think.
I don't know. He'd have to be on her the way that he was on Rihanna.
Yeah. Okay,
because
that's fine.
Every time you see Drake with a chick, you kind of know, oh, he's the one he's running that. He would have to be.
Or even if we choose somebody else other than Drake was just the first one I thought of. But if we choose somebody else that's big like that or
I know what
bigger than Quavo, you know what I mean? I think that's gonna push her.
I know what you mean. No, definitely. Yeah. We'll see what happens, man. I definitely wish that this wasn't the case. That because I'm dating this person and then this shit fall off. Now all of a sudden I can't get no airplay because they listeners don't like me as a person. Yeah, I don't know. Shit's trash. Anyway, before we get into the last subject, I gotta ask: did you watch the Suicide Squad trailer?
I did.
Thoughts?
I don't know, and I don't know because I am not a fan of James Gunn films. To be honest, I didn't like either one of the Guardians.
Wow.
Like either one of them.
Interesting. And I'm the harsh critic. Got you.
I just said I didn't like it. Okay. That was it. So I don't know. Of course, I'm going to watch it to see what they do and so on and so forth. But I don't know. With this one, I'm kind of going in there with like no expectations. I will say this. I don't really care for that King Shark character.
Yeah, it's almost like a forced version of the alligator character.
it seems really forced and just I'm not a fan of that. But I guess I'll see what it is.
So my thing is, I just hate that DC is put so much stock into trying to capitalize on that Marvel comedic aspect because for what flows naturally from Marvel does not flow naturally for DC because y'all are trying to be way too dark and way too comedic at the same time. Right. Which is why from what I've been hearing with the new Justice League is compared to the one that came out that was apparently comedy heavy. This shit is super dark and shit is like going down.
Shit is going down, but I won't say it's super dark or anything like that. I don't think it's dark. Honestly, I don't think the I don't want to say original, but the other Justice League, I didn't get comedy out of that. I just got a movie. I didn't get comedy.
Gotcha.
But to your point, you're absolutely right. Like they can't do both.
And I thought the line with Idris Elba and John Cena was funny. It was like you eat a dick, And he said, if this island was made of dicks, I thought that was funny.
I did think that was funny too. I was like, I would do it for
patriotism,
yeah.
right? I thought that was funny, but then I was kind of watching the rest and I'm like, this feels forced. And what also kind of fucks with me is, at first I thought this was a remake, hence why it was called The Suicide Squad. I thought they were starting over, but then
I did think it was a remake until Idris Elba was like, said his name or whatever. I was, so he is different from, when it first came out, they were talking about it, they said that he was going to be the same character as Will Smith, just recast it, but it's a different character. So
right, and that's why they said they no longer have the alligator, but now they got the shark.
Right.
Then they got John Cena's character, and like they got all these people, and you're just kind of like, so this is a sequel with just a few of the main people. Because Amanda Waller's still in it. You still got Harley Quinn.
Right. I wouldn't necessarily call it a sequel, only because they got so many villains. They could just I don't know. It's weird because I wouldn't call it a sequel, but maybe they should use a different title. Maybe Suicide Squad does this or something like that, because you can use other characters to achieve whatever her goal is. So I get that. But I don't know, man. I don't know. This one, it is a lot of characters, and my problem is, or my thoughts is, I don't know if having that many characters is gonna, or having that many big names is gonna ruin the movie.
I guess we'll just see.
Yeah. When is it supposed to come out?
I forgot.
That says a lot.
That says plenty. I'm just happy that my nigga Idris is, trying to get to this comic book money, because he was like, oh, it's comfortable over here.
Oh, yeah.
I made this for just standing there with a sword.
I'm sure it's very comfortable over here.
So I look forward to what he's doing with that, and then just seeing Idris being able to work in general is always just a great thing.
Yeah.
It seemed like he was starting to get quiet, like trying to get, let me not say quiet, but trying to.
You ain't seeing him as much. I get what you mean.
While he's trying to slip into his Black Graces bag.
Right.
You're right. Started to seem like,
You're right, because at first it was everywhere,
right? And
then for a minute there, you ain't see him, and then seems now he may be starting to reemerge with different shit. So you're right. I get what you mean. You're right.
Big up to Idris. So last thing I wanted to talk about, and especially while we're giving out big ups, got to throw out a big up to Issa Rae. 5-year deal with WarnerMedia.
Yeah.
And where she's like hands-on producing original content under Issa Rae Productions, and I think it's Hooray is the new one that she got going on. So big up to her. But the reason I bring that up is maybe like 2 years ago, we were having a conversation about getting into those spaces and being able to create more. I remember we kind of harping back to the conversation when Jordan Peele was on his run. I think we're starting to get into those spaces. It's still a slow burn, but just in the last 2 years alone since we had that conversation, most recently being Issa Rae getting her 5-year deal. Just earlier this year, we had Donald Glover fucking 8-figure deal with Amazon.
Yeah,
and he's still allowed to make Atlanta with FX. So the deal he has with Amazon ain't going to affect his deal with Atlanta. So now he's doing 2 networks, winning multiple golden Emmys for the show. And now he's about to do the same with Amazon. One of the projects I think he's working on with Obama's daughter. I'm not gonna fuck up her name again. And then before then, which was 2019, I believe, Jordan Peele and Monkey Paw signed an exclusive deal with Universal, a 5-picture deal with Universal. We already got the trailer for Candyman. I'm pretty sure he's working on some other shit, but he got a 5-picture deal with Universal. Big bag behind that. It's almost like we're recreating that space now.
Yeah, I think we're creating that space.
We still got more work to do, absolutely. But
absolutely, I think once we're in those spaces, you gotta kind of take over. But unfortunately, man, how I look at it now is, I'm sure we black, so of course we got this talk. You got to be twice as better to get. You know what I mean? I think right now they have to apply that in these spaces so it can open a door for more people to get those opportunities. You know what I mean? Like they have to. Don't just put a movie out.
Right.
Put a movie out that's going to be like, whoa.
Right.
You know what I mean? Or put a project that's going to be like, whoa. So other people, other black filmmakers could maybe not get an 8-figure deal or 7-figure deal, but they can get into those spaces. You know what I mean? So it's big ups to them. It's big ups to them.
Absolutely.
I hope they don't fuck it up.
One thing I like about it though.
I won't say that. I hope whatever company there, the Warners, the Universal, I hope they don't have so much input that they fuck.
And that's actually the exact point I was about to get to. What makes it so dope is that these are strong leads, strong writers, strong creators, who also had people already in the back ready to pass off the baton, who are also strong leads, strong creators.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I don't think they're taking it, especially Issa Rae, Donald Glover, and Jordan Peele. I don't think they're taking a deal where the company has.
I agree with you.
Such final say so to change my entire passion project.
I agree with you.
Because those are people who have been making some really good. I mean, first of all, I think Jordan Peele is like the shining star of that generation of getting into these seats when it comes down to entertainment. Because who the fuck knew this was coming after Key and Peele? Wasn't nobody checking for Key and Peele after their show got cut off.
Yeah, and even after that, I didn't expect Jordan Peele to be in this particular space.
Yeah, it was technically it was supposed to be King and Michael Key to take off. He was doing all the movies, doing the Netflix shows and shit. But then Jordan Peele just quietly said, "All right, I'm gonna Hitchcock this real quick." You know what I mean? Let me drop Get Out on you. Okay, y'all fuck with that. Let me drop Us on you. By the way, I'm doing Candyman. Oh yeah, here's my 5 year. Jordan Peele just said, "Yo, you go do that. I'm gonna go do this.
I'm gonna do this." Right.
And he snuck his way into that seat. And like I said, you fast forward, Donald Glover. With Atlanta season 1 and season 2, motherfuckers was just like, I'm ready for it. I'm fiending for it. You know what I'm saying? And they're ready to make it happen. And turn around and sign this deal. So that means he obviously has way more on the way and way more personalized to him, because I don't think you can have a corporate hand
in the movie making process.
No, there's always going to be that kind of corporate hand for sure. But I'm talking about in the creative process with signing these kind of people. I think you take that risk of knowing that, all right, I'm going to give them certain freedoms, but they also know when to reel it in.
Right.
And I also think Issa Rae learned that lesson from the movie she did for Netflix with the Indian cat. I forgot what the fuck it's called.
I forget what it's called, but I know what you're talking about. Because
that was probably the most industry I've ever seen. Even though we haven't seen much of Issa Rae as far as from an acting standpoint, that's probably the most industry I've ever seen her attach her name to.
Stuff like that's probably Netflix is for the bag.
Definitely for the bag. But I think now that she got the bag and she's putting her name and her production company, you know what I'm saying, under the ranks that, you know what I'm saying, she's under now, I don't think she's going to just sign something that they're going to force her to make something like that again.
I agree.
I think her integrity means more to her now than it ever has to sign that kind of deal.
I think those three people are in spaces to where they might not get the same opportunity, or they might not get the same, what's the word? Another person might not get the same freedoms as them because they are not as established. So I think you're right. She wouldn't have signed no deal where it's like, okay, we want you to come do this, but we know we don't have the final say so, but we got a big chunk on what goes on. I don't think
we got a good amount.
Yeah, she wouldn't have did that, but somebody that's just coming in, they might. You know what I mean?
I think so. I think that they're going to allow themselves to really take advantage of the bag more so than deal with that
those executives,
that relatable.
If they want to continue to make a lot of money and be smart about it and be inclusive, they need to let them kind of do what they want to do. So when you do get that other black person that wants to sign, again, you may not give them the same freedoms, but because of Issa Rae or Jordan Peele, you're more inclined to sign this person in hopes that not necessarily they'll bring the same product or the same skill set, but it'd be like, I'm gonna fuck with that person because this person did this, and they may be of that same cloth.
And also, this is the perfect time too, because we're in an era that those corporate suits are fucking petrified of black creators.
Yeah.
Because all it takes is for Issa Rae let go from her deal, and then Issa Rae do a tell-all why she was let go of her deal. Now, forever and always, that organization is related to racism.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Jordan Peele, the exact same way. As soon as they started creating stuff for the culture that represented the culture in a way that we haven't been represented in a long, ever. You know what I'm saying? And then we develop a genuine love for these people. Oh, these big corporations, no, those aren't the ones you fuck over. Same way with Jay-Z.
Yeah.
Him signing 50% stake with Moet Hennessy for a champagne. We know we can't fuck him over.
Yeah,
this is Jay. You know what I mean?
Don't do that. Yeah.
And really, Jay's another example too. Bring it to it with him selling 50% of a stake for the champagne to Moet Hennessy. Nigga, it's Moet Hennessy.
Yeah. They've been around.
They were a big company before they merged.
Yeah. You're right.
You know what I'm saying? It's them, and now Jay-Z's Armand D. Brignac, I think it's pronounced. I probably butchered the shit out of that.
It's French.
It's French. You know what I'm saying? As Kev used to say. But, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think they enter these deals knowing what the other side of this look like if you fuck me over. Because now you're just another brand fucking over another black person. The difference is we're not Kool Moe D. We're not, you know what I'm saying? We're not any of those people. We're brands. We are entire brands. People love what I do.
And it'd be even detrimental to whatever company if they fuck over one of these people and they do a tell all and then they take whatever projects they were going to do to one of these black owned networks or solid black networks. It's going to be a problem.
Oh, absolutely.
I agree.
I don't think we're too far off of having another successful black network. I don't think we're too far. Like, you know, of course we got Bounce and all this other shit that exists on like, you know, the little satellite, antenna channels. But I don't think we're too far off from having like an actual basic cable network.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I think that's coming.
The deals that they're signing are just fucking insane. And I mean, you look at what, you know, Jay-Z did with Tidal. It's not necessarily completely unbelievable. Maybe, you know, Tidal may not have been the most user-friendly of streaming platforms, but it was still a platform where majority of the owners look like us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I think that starts to happen a lot more in these, for lack of better words, bigger or most known companies. You know what I mean? Like a not I'm using an example, but like a Universal or a Warner, like those big type companies. I think that's gonna be more and more common.
Shit, look at Tyler Perry. Tyler Perry.
I would not be surprised if he's the first person I want to say the first person, but to have a network on like actual cable, like a BT, I wouldn't be surprised if he decides he does that.
Shit, he at this point he kind of, I'm not saying he owns BET because that's a lie. He doesn't own BET, but with the dedication that BET puts behind the Medea run, it's all, you would swear the nigga got some stake in it or something.
I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't, and because of that is a reason why I would not it would not be far fetched to me to see him be like, all right, all right, BET, I was here, y'all, we did our thing. Let me go start my own shit now.
Exactly. Let me put the right people together, because that's all it's gonna take. If I put the right people together, and look at the amount of fucking black business billionaires, because I got to make sure I say that, because it's almost like an asterisk, because I'm not all the way sure with how their numbers are working right now. But look at the amount of black business billionaires that have happened within the last 5 years. Yeah. Just imagine, you know what I'm saying, with what Kanye making right now, with what Jay making right now, Tyler Perry, you look at Jordan Peele moving up, you got Issa Rae moving up, Childish Gambino, I'm not going to his rap name, Donald Glover moving into these places. So now the bag is looking better. The checkbook is looking better.
Yeah.
Well, you know, listen, we were able to do it with Tidal. Now let's do it with this company.
Exactly.
And then some shit goes to that. And we're not too far from that, because everyone is collaborative. This is probably one of the best, and we've talked about it before, this is one of the best times to be in the black enterprises from that standpoint. Because for some reason, we still don't like each other down here where we are. But in the major scheme of things, it's almost like there's no more competition. Now it's like, how about we get into these same seats? Let's create these platforms.
It's enough for all of us. We can all
eat. Absolutely. And I think people are now really seeing, like, you know, this is a big ass fucking table.
Right.
The money table is goddamn enormous.
You're right.
You know what I mean? There's plenty of space and plenty of scraps for motherfuckers to get in there and get involved. With all these, you know, new black billionaires being created just based off of what they're doing in entertainment and what they're doing on their side projects, it's only a matter of time before we see these black owned companies, these black owned networks, these black owned production, shit like that. Like, it's only a matter of time. And then shit is getting better and better and better and better. Like, low key, from a television standpoint, I think Misha Green finna go stupid.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Because Underground...
Is anybody in that space, really, television-wise?
Nah, because we talk about Lovecraft Country is really one in their own.
I can't wait for that shit.
Cannot wait till it comes back. But you look with Misha Green, especially with what she did with Underground, everybody saw the potential in her with what she did with Underground. Yeah. And they canceled that. And because of the success of Lovecraft Country, now Underground is coming back. So Misha Green went from having a, quote, failed show to having a huge show to getting that, quote, failed show back. And if that shit take off, with whatever changes she add to it, whatever, you know what I'm saying, she now knows how to build a proper team around her. If that shit take off, Misha Green next.
Yeah.
She's next.
Yeah, she is. and it's really gonna be it's really gonna flow for her because I think a lot of her projects that she does is more of course it's for us, but it's more down to earth for us. You know what I mean? Like it means something. When she did Lovecraft, we was like, yeah, we learned stuff we didn't know, but at the end of the day, it was like, oh, we know that. That's you know what I mean. I don't think nobody's filled that space. So yeah, she's gonna go.
It also goes back to something that we've also said on the show a bunch of times is we're noticing where they're starting to float are the ones that are stepping outside of what we normally do.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like even when you look at Insecure seems like such a common, believable, could happen right now, black situation comedy. You know what I'm saying? But when you look at other black situation comedies where you're like, that's exaggerated. You know what I'm saying? Where you have to, go super over the top just to make it believable. You look at Jordan Peele. He's doing something that we have not been doing, but yet it feels so black.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Donald Glover. I mean, it speaks for itself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're tapping into different methods of doing things where we don't have to over exaggerate the gangster.
Right.
So we actually make a motherfucker articulate and still make him from the hood.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We can provide layers to characters and do all these dope things. Bro, we're on the way.
Yeah, I agree.
We're on the way.
I agree with you. We are on the way. And like you said before, this is one of the best times this is the best time to be in the black enterprises like that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I do fear for certain shit that kind of holds us back in a sense. Like, even though it was huge, I feel like Empire was one of those shows that is like, it still gives people hope to hold on to those kind of narratives.
Yeah,
because Empire was very over the top.
Yeah, Empire to me was, I don't want to say it was stereotypical because it wasn't, but it was like for some people, if they was like had to view black people, they would view it in the way the Empire was.
No, absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah,
and that's why Star didn't really have the run that it technically should have had because all it did was recreate what Empire did, but they made the lead person white. And the motherfuckers was like, wait, hold on now. She wouldn't know nothing about it. All of a sudden, it's a whole new conversation. I think once we're able to break out of those, you know what I'm saying, out of those reigns of creativity, we see what happens. And then, again, going back to Jay-Z. Yeah, he signed with Hennessy. I mean, he said he got a stake. He's in stake with Hennessy, but that's only because they're in stake with Moet. You know what I'm saying? And it just continues to, come together. It continues to brand together. Kanye, as much shit as I talk about Kanye, bro, his shoe deal is insane.
Yeah.
He's potential, and I think they said that he's not worth. He ain't worth like 16
billion.
No,
they said that was like 6.6 billion. Yeah, they said that was close.
But I did think that. Where are the words, Los? I do think they said he's like 1.5 or 2. They're saying he's a billionaire.
But I don't think that's his net worth. I think that's what his the company could potentially be worth.
Right. Well, or that's what the company actually is worth.
Yeah.
But either way it goes, this rap nigga from Chicago got a company worth possibly $1.5-2 billion.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
From clothing that isn't ours. However, let me flip that. What we wouldn't traditionally buy. However, it's definitely big with the black hipsters, and whites and Asians fucking love it.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of those markets, honestly, they a lot of those brands or whatever, they market to white people. And don't get me wrong, black people will get it
fast,
but they market to white people.
Absolutely, absolutely.
That want to be black or seem like they down with the black culture.
The unfortunate side of it is those are the consumers. Those niggas that are paying.
Yeah, they're the consumers. Like, if he is a billionaire, black people didn't make him a billionaire.
Oh, no, not at all. Not at all. I don't know. This is about to sound so terrible, but hear me out. Is there anything wrong with that?
No.
Because it's not like he said, now granted, Kanye West has said a litany of just crazy fucking shit. But when you look at all these, black creators and, potential black billionaires that are taking this route that kind of caters to the white consumer, and they don't speak ill against black people, do we actually care that that's where their money's coming from?
No. I don't think anybody should care as long as, like you said, they're not bashing or going against black people and verbally. I don't think that's a problem. And then at the end of the day, I think if you can take some of that money and reinvest it into black communities, then no, I don't see a problem with it at all.
Cause shit, you look at everything that Nip was doing with stem cell research and, buying property and building up promenade and stuff like that. Those are like all white people he was working with.
Yeah, you can work with white people and, you gotta, even though, yes, we want to be in those spaces and we want to have either a seat or have our own table. Yes, that's it, all true. But it doesn't change the fact that right now, the reality is we're going to have to work with white people
and we to get in those
to
spaces.
Those spaces, that table. We're going to have to do that. So, no, I don't see a problem with it. The only problem comes when you work with Bob from accounting, but you're not fucking with Jamal from down the street at all. That's the only problem.
When you Doja Cat it, basically.
Yeah, I guess so.
You know what I'm saying? Because she didn't, only thing I like about me being black is my ass her way all the way to a Grammy night.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I look at certain shit like that and I'm like, yeah, that's played. That's super fucking played. Yeah. But I think that when you get to these certain places, it should, if a white person cutting you the check and it's a good check and it's a check that you and your representation feels is fair, hopefully that representation is a black guy. But if you and your representation feel like whatever the fuck they're cashing you out is fair, then you're getting the bag. And you're getting the bag from a source that did not want to ever give you that bag.
Exactly. I agree with that wholeheartedly.
Oh, it's an interesting situation because then there are also just a bunch of people, you done sold out. Like I saw when Swizz did his live before they dropped.
The Tyreek from Power shit he just set up?
No, not Tyreek from Power. It's when Swizz did his live right before they dropped the layout for all the upcoming verses. Mm-hmm. One of the first niggas that was on his live was like, "Oh, you sold out."
Yeah, he got that from the Tyreek from Power. That's where it started.
Oh, gotcha.
It started after like when verses sold Triller to Triller. That's where it started. He came out and was like, they sell outs and so on and so forth. I just have to say that young man is maybe he's misinformed, but that's where it started from.
Absolutely. When you bring up that kind of stuff, it's like, okay, you consider that sold out. What do you consider staying true? Mm-hmm. Like, what do you consider? Because there's certain shit that people look at that's considered staying true, but it's pretty much you being in a space where it's split down the middle in the community. You don't have the real support that you were looking for because there's still and they're normally the loudest in the room. There's a lot of crabs in the barrel type motherfuckers out there.
Unfortunately, man, I think with this situation, I think a lot of black people, I understand necessarily what he means. I don't agree with it said all the time, but I understand what he means is, or that person, they wanted something that versus they felt was for us. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like that was our shit. So selling it to Triller, he was like, no, you saw that. This is supposed to be for us. I get that. But I don't think black people were solely making versus what it is today.
No, not at all.
You know what I mean? So with that,
they already had a partnership with Apple.
Right. So with that, black people got to realize, yes, I understand you want to just be for us, but all black people or people in general is not necessarily getting us to where we need to be as far as having a piece of this table. Mm. I have to assume that Swizz and Tim, they're going for something bigger. Selling to Triller was a step on the way there. Mm. A lot of unfortunate black people don't realize that that's got to be the step. You can't just solely have it. This is for the culture. It's going to stay where it is. It's just strictly for the culture because you're going to stay exactly where it is.
It's almost like a lot of these artists are artists and creators. It's almost like they're the sacrificial lambs going forward.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's what kind of what they have to be right now. At least on they're not necessarily sacrificial lambs, but to the viewer, to the masses, it seems that way.
The reason I say that is because everyone that does it gets called a sellout. Like, think about how quick everybody turned on Jay when he got the deal with the NFL, and then you find out what his deal was and what's built from that. Mm-hmm. You know, look how quick everybody turned on Donald Glover when they found out his wife is white. Right. Look how quick they started to try to turn on Jordan Peele, you know, and it was like, nah, but he's been entertaining white people, da-da-da. Mm-hmm. But as soon as he got his seat at the table, he's been just exploiting black shit all that. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, they are the sacrificial lambs because they're going to go through that until those spaces are created. And what's so fucked up is that people aren't going to look back at what they had to go through to get there. Mm-hmm. They're not going to look back at the reformation of said table. They're just going to look at the fact that the table is done.
Two words today. I'm like, oh, that's a nice word. Okay.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm talking about Umar Johnson. Y'all should see my hands. I'm doing the actual pinch.
We're looking like Donald Trump.
You feel me? Oh, come on. No. He does this shit. He does this okay shit.
Yeah, he does do that. Yeah.
I got the Umar Johnson pinch. Gotcha. Dr. King also did this. Go watch a speech, brother.
Okay.
But yeah, like they weren't around for like the reformation of the tables, and what's so sad is that we're gonna look back on history and we're not gonna be like, oh man, I was wrong about that person. They're just gonna be like, no, I remember when all this shit started. And like around this time, Jordan Peele and Issa Rae, all them, they were really kicking in.
Right.
They were the pioneers of this shit. You know what I mean? That's all it's gonna be.
Everybody looks at the final result, but they don't look at what you did to get to that result.
Right.
That's all it is. They're not looking at. And 10 years from now, Jordan Peele's always put black people on. He's always did this, but they don't mention the fact that, yeah, but when he was starting out and he had to do this, you was bashing him for it.
Right, you was killing him.
Right.
You was absolutely killing him. That low key, I kind of feel that's what killed Bob Johnson. Not Bob Johnson.
I often say, who the fuck is Bob Johnson?
Well, no, he was the original either creator or owner of BET. Was it not Bob? What's his name?
I don't fucking know.
Committed suicide. The creator of Soul Train.
Don Cornelius committed suicide?
Yeah, you didn't know that?
No, I did not.
Yeah, I kind of feel like
wow.
that. I feel like that's kind of what was killing him because once he gave up his platform, that was that.
Yeah, that Joe Paterno.
Yeah, suicide by gunshot. Shot himself.
Wow, I did not know. I was today years old when I found that out.
Really?
Yeah, I did not know that.
Wow.
I did not know that. Wow. I thought maybe he died of like, I don't want to say natural causes, but something medically. I did not know he took himself out. I didn't know.
Yeah, he killed himself. But I always feel like that's something that like eats at them because when you become that person and you build up doing something, that's so black, that's so of the culture. Mm-hmm. Now, I don't think that's the sole reason hopefully I'm not coming across as if I'm speaking ill of the dead, but I think that guilt starts to kind of like weigh in because people will start getting in your head, start saying shit. He killed himself in 2008. That's really when social media was really starting to take off and everybody had a fucking opinion.
Yeah. That's
what I mean? True. And I just remember how big it was when, when he, finally let go of the reins, like stepped down from everything. And there was just so much conversation surrounding it. So it's, I do think it contributes to it. The conversations, Probably so. That's something that people never want to look at. They just want to look at the legacy.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying, and look at what is currently in front of them, but never acknowledge the hell you put these people through to get to these places to build these tables.
Everybody wants the success, but they don't want to put in the work.
So what would you say? Everybody want the glory, but they don't want the story.
Yeah, basically.
Either way it go, man. Big up to Issa Rae, Donald Glover. Congratulations again, Jordan Peele. You've been out here.
Oh yeah, Donald. If you listen to this, thank you. As you said, thank you for Bad and Bougie. Thank you for Feels Like Summer. That shit is flawless.
It's a whole vibe.
Oh, man.
It's an entire vibe. It's a fantastic record. Yeah. I still listen to that shit.
Yeah, I was listening to it yesterday.
So, yeah, so thank you for Feels Like Summer. Video's a little off.
No, I like the video.
I don't know.
I like the video because I get it. I completely get it. In that video, that like how the video was, how the neighborhood back home. That's how the neighborhood was back home for me. Like, so I get it. You know what I mean?
No, it was definitely a neighborhood thing, and I definitely get it. It probably would have cost him some money, but just imagine if that video actually had the niggas in it. Obviously, you couldn't.
You couldn't do that.
You couldn't have Big Pocket, obviously.
But majority, if not all of them, got to come out for the love because I can't pay all you niggas.
Yeah. And some of them would have came out for the love, and then the ones
I'm sure they would have came out.
They would have came out for the check.
Yeah.
For sure. If he had made Feels Like Summer now, he got a check from Amazon. He could have paid all them niggas.
Maybe.
So I don't know. It'd have been dope to see it in person. But I do think animation was great.
Do you want to pay all them niggas to really be in a video if I can just make an animated one?
True. But imagine the views.
Shit, the views now is nothing crazy.
Views now are crazy, but just imagine the views if it was the actual niggas.
Yeah,
think about how even though they were definitely lower tier, that's disrespectful. Lower tier. Even though they weren't as known celebrities, think about how big the La La Land video was. Jay-Z's La La Land. And they did a black.
Oh, you're right.
They did a black version of Friends. That shit was huge.
You're right. You're absolutely right. I remember when That was all the talk. You're right.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. But anyway, like we said, man, go ahead and follow us at The Noize Podcast on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Make sure you follow BeatNetworkOnline.com. New show coming at your head top real soon. Drake Talk. Good show, sir. Good show, sir.
I agree.
I meant to say.
It was a great show.
Yes, sir. As always, we appreciate you guys tuning in. As always, we appreciate the support. And as always, Big Los.
Hollywood Kev.
It's The Noize.